Thank you to Anime Radio. During this long period of isolation, we've spent most of our time on shows and animes, so I'm not surprised if you ran out of things to watch. Today, I'm going to tell you 10 animes coming out soon which are worth your time. Number 1. Assault Lily Paquette. The genre is Magical Girl. In the near future, humanity faces imminent destruction from mysterious creatures known as Huge. The world wages war against the Huge and develops the anti-weapon called Charm, counter Huge arms, by combining science and magic. Charm works more effectively when used by teenage girls, do not ask me why, and those who use the weapons are referred as lilies. The lilies train at the military academies called Gardens, which also serve as bases to protect and advise people. This is a story about girls who aim to become lilies so they can protect the earth. This anime is similar to the first part of Attack on Titan, where Eren and his friends train to one day fight titans. Number 2. I'm Standing on 1 Million Lives. The genre is fantasy. Yotsuya Yuzuki, along with his classmates Shindoyu Liu and Hakozaki Kuse, have been transported to a strange and unknown world, inhabited by mythological creatures. As soon as they arrive, they meet somebody calling themselves the Game Master, who then grants them a time-limited quest. To aid them in this quest, he also bestows Shindoyu and Hakozaki with the roles of a magician and a warrior, while Yotsuya, he is randomly given the role of a farmer. This is how a hectic life of adventuring began for 3 students, who now have no choice but to complete random quests for several phases in this fantasy world, if they want to stay alive and protect the real world from these demons and monsters they encounter. Number 3. Tonikawa Over the Moon for You. The genres are romantic, comedy, and science fiction. Nasa meets a generally cute girl named Tsukasa on the day of his high school entrance exam, and immediately falls in love with her. Nasa confesses his feelings, but her response is that she will only go out with him if they get married. Years later, on Nasa's 18th birthday, she suddenly appears to get married. Thus begins Nasa's newlywed lifestyle. Number 4. Real Romanesque. The genres are slice of life and sci-fi. Sen Hinomoto, a fictional version of Japan, where for a long time railway travel served as the most important form of transport. Each locomotive was paired with a humanoid control module, so-called Raillord, that aided the train operators. However, many rail lines had been discontinued due to the rising popularity of aerocrafts, a safe and convenient aerial mode of transport. As such, their accompanying railroads also went into a deep sleep. So Tetsu had lost his entire family in a rail accident and was adopted in the Migita household, which runs a shochu brewery in the city of Ohio. He returned to his hometown to save it from a potential water pollution that would occur if they accepted a proposal to build an aircraft factory nearby. He woke up the railroad Hachiroku by accident and became her owner. For different purposes, they agreed to help her find her lost locomotive, with the help of his stepsister Hibiki, the town's mayor, and the local railway chief, Paula, and others. Number 5. Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. The genres are fantasy and adventure. The daughters of Sesshomaru and Inuyasha set out on a journey transcending time. In feudal Japan, half-demon twins Towa and Setsuna are separated from each other during a forest fire. While desperately searching for her younger sister, Towa wanders into a mysterious tunnel that sends her into the present-day Japan, where she is found and raised by Kagome Higurashi's brother Sota and his family. 10 years later, the tunnel that connects the 2 areas has finally reopened, allowing Towa to be reunited with Setsuna, who now is a demon slayer working for Kohaku. But to Towa's shock, Setsuna appears to have lost all memories of her older sister, joined by Moroha, the daughter of Inuyasha, and Kagome. The 3 young women travel between the 2 areas on an adventure to regain their missing past. Number 6. The Irregular at the Magic High School, 2nd season. The genres are action, fantasy, and science fiction. Shiba Mayuki's classmate, Kitayama Shizuku, is on her way to study abroad. For magicians, this is normally impossible, since allowing genes of someone who can use magic outside of their home country's border is giving up national secrets. But it's allowed to happen in one-case exchange programs, and that's how Angelina Cadeau Shields has arrived in Japan from USNA to study at First High. Around the time Nina arrives in Japan, magicians began getting attacked by mysterious beings who leaves his victims drained of blood. Will Tetsuya be able to discover the identity of the vampire? Number 7. Warlords of Sigare. The genre is fantasy. One day, pillars appeared on Earth and became a threat to all life. The sudden appearance of the god called Odin was the only reason humanity survived. His method of fighting the pillars was to grant flight via mechanical hero wings to chosen beautiful young girls called Valkyries. After many years, humanity's battle against the pillars continues in the sky, with women fighting and men as the support staff. Japan is no exception, and when a pillar appears on Mount Fuji, 3 Valkyries confront him. They are joined by an ace pilot from Europe to continue the counterattack as Ragnarok grows ever closer. Number 8. Marginal Tabitha. The genre is fantasy. Once upon a time, there was a witch named Elena who set off on a journey across the world. Along the way, she would meet all kinds of people, from a country full of witches to giants in love with their own muscles. But with each meeting, Elena would become a small part of the story, and her own world would get a little bit bigger. Number 9. Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dying. The genres are adventure, fiction, and fantasy. After the defeat of the demon lord Hadlar, all of the monsters were unleashed from his evil will and moved to the island of Delmarin to live in peace. Having been raised by a kindly monster Brass, Day's dream is to grow up to become a hero. He gets to become one when Hadlar is resurrected, and the previous hero, Evan, comes to train Day to help in the battle. But Hadlar, announcing that he now works for an even more powerful demon lord, comes to kill Avon. To save his students, Avon uses a self-sacrificial spell to attack, but is unable to defeat Hadlar. When it seems that Day and Avon's other students are doomed, a mark appears on Day's forehead, and he suddenly gains superpowers and is able to fend off Hadlar. The 2 students go off on a journey to avenge Avon and bring peace back to the world. Number 10. Sleepy Princess in a Demon Castle. The genres are adventure, fiction, comedy, and fantasy. Princess Cialis is trying to get a good night's sleep. Long time ago, in olden times where people and demons lived together in Disami, a demon king kidnapped a human princess and imprisoned her in his castle. There you go. Now you can decide how to waste your time instead of preparing for the inevitable start of school. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. And if you haven't, comment the reason why so that we can improve. That's all. Thank you for tuning to Anime Radio, and we hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.